The Checkpoint is presented by GM Pharma, the first international multinational pharmaceutical company in Georgia. GM Pharma, to serve those who need it most.
According to Prime Minister Irakli Garibashvili, everything has been done by the government in order to genuinely fulfill all obligations regarding the 12 recommendations. Irakli Garibashvili announced this at the presentation of Anti-Corruption Bureau. As the Prime Minister stated, the fourth part of the 12-point plan meant the strengthening of the anti-corruption mechanism for which the Anti-Corruption Bureau was created. Last year, we were given 12 recommendations, which our government immediately began to implement. The Parliament has done a great job. Working groups have been created. Everything has been done and is being done on our side to ensure that all obligations to be fulfilled by the government are genuinely fulfilled. In this 12-point plan, the fourth recommendation implies the strengthening of anti-corruption mechanisms. And it's for this purpose that Anti-Corruption Bureau was created, said Irakli Garibashvili. Instead of strengthening state institutions being the cornerstone of democracy, the one-party system and its influence get stronger. Laws adopted in expedient manner serve Europower's prolongation instead of serving democracy strengthening and citizens' welfare. The court reform, vital for the country's future, is at a deadlock, said Georgian President Salome Zurabishvili when delivering her annual report in the parliament. Salome Zurabishvili went on to say that the ruling party members speak in unison and those having different viewpoints tend to quit the party. You are the government of confronting the country's foreign goal, the people's mandate. By inviting Gov't in 2019, you raised doubts and questions for the first time, though the actual transformation began in 2021 when Georgian Dream former chairman Bidina initially quit politics, she said. President also recalled the annulling of the document drafted with the engagement of European Council President and rejection of the EU loan. The state-funded universal healthcare program with 7 billion lari in 10 years. Georgian Prime Minister Irakli Garibashvili said at the event dedicated to the 10-year anniversary of the state program for universal healthcare. During 10 years, the state financed the programs with 7 billion lari. In doing so, we have actually made radical transformative changes in this sector. For comparison, I would like to tell you that if earlier only 40% of the population had access to medical care, today this figure has decreased to 94%. 94% of our population benefits from the universal healthcare program, which of course is a great result, the head of the government said. According to the second stage of the reform, the minimum wage limit for nurses, assistants and sanitary workers should be determined, Health Minister Zura Bazarashvili said. As he notes, as a result of the reform carried out last year, the minimum salary was determined for 70,000 doctors and nurses. The next stage of the reform must determine minimum wage limit for other medical personnel involved in patient care, such as nurses, assistants and sanitary workers who don't have a defined minimum salary, Zura Bazarashvili said. Effective January 1, 2023, Georgian Health Ministry introduced hourly wages for doctors and nurses. The ministry explained that the salary increase would affect up to 9,000 doctors and over 8,000 nurses. The National Competition Agency of Georgia has started investigating for companies in the pharmaceutical market. As stated in the information released by the National Competition Agency, the issue is related to the sharp increase in prices of chronic and oncological medicines by the importers and sales companies and the setting of identical pricing. The investigation was based on the information and statements made public by the Ministry of Health regarding the compatibility of actions of pharmaceutical companies with the competition legislation. The investigation started in two directions, which implies the possible abuse of the dominant position and the possible restrictive agreements of competition. Companies under investigation and pharmaceutical associations will have the opportunity to present their position explanations in this process, the information reads. On March 29, the Monetary Policy Committee of National Bank of Georgia decided to keep monetary policy rate unchanged. The monetary policy rate stands at 11%. Despite certain stabilization signs, inflation remains a global challenge. In Georgia, annual inflation is still high but follows a downward trajectory. In February, headline inflation decreased to 8.1%, while core inflation dropped to 6.6%. The decline in inflation is mainly due to the external factors. In particular, international oil prices have been decreasing recently, whereas international shipping costs have also approached the pre-pandemic level. In addition, according to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, the International Food Price Index continues to decrease. The National Bank of Georgia continuously monitors the developments in the economy and financial markets and will use all available tools to ensure price stability. The next meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee will be held on May 10, 2023.